What's up, everybody? This is Gary from K.O.R.H Hobbies, and I just wanted to show you guys what will be on the channel soon, or now. Now. Yes, it is on the channel now. Sorry, I'm in a goofy mood today. Anyways, so yeah, this is a crawler, not a trail rig, a crawler. I got this thing off eBay as a roller. It is a full custom tube chassis and all of that stuff. So it does have a metal tube chassis. It does have this nice metal skid plate bottom on here, and it is just 100% custom. Somebody made this and I guess drove it for a while and then put it up for auction. I ended up winning the auction for it as a roller, and now here it is, and it's all ready to go. So I'll just kind of tell you guys about it, and then yeah, we'll take it out crawling. Alrighty, so it is running a lot of Losi stuff. It does have the Losi Nightcrawler 2.0 axles with the worm drive and everything. So yes, this thing is slow. It is a crawler. Locked front and rear. It does have the Losi Nightcrawler transmission, basically. It does have a front and rear dig option, though it is not hooked up. I am still trying to figure out like a way to hook that up, but it's kind of cool. The guy did like cut out a little Lexan interior piece, so it does have a little driver figure in here and stuff. Just the way he designed it is pretty good. I'll talk about a few flaws that I found when it came to me, but I'll just tell you what I'm running. So I'm running the Spectrum S6260 servo. I think I'm going to put a Salvox high torque servo in this thing, and probably Castle BC to give that servo the power it needs. I am running a Castle Creations Mamba Max Pro in this thing, set up for rock crawling with the 213% drag brake and all the goodies. I'm also running a 10 shock 1250 kV rock crawler motor. That's the same motor, if you guys are familiar with the money pit that I built, the Axle Wraith that I dubbed the money pit. I ran that same motor in that thing, and I was really impressed with it, so I went ahead and put it in this. I have driven this thing around just a tiny bit to make sure everything worked according to plan, and it pretty much did, except for the servo I put in this thing. It's more of a high speed, not so much on the torquey side. It does turn these tires easily and everything, but these tires are very nice. They're the Proline Flat Iron XLs. These things are squishy, they are grabby, and they are on beadlock wheels. So that's all awesomeness. Now, a few minor things I found with this when I got it is, it seems like what he should have done when he was building this thing was made this center section here a little bit shorter and the links longer, because this thing doesn't have very much flex at all. I mean, being what it is, how it sits right now, it should be plenty. I mean, life size, that would be quite a bit of flex, and with that flat pan and everything, it should do very well as far as rock crawling. But as far as flex, that's not very that's not very like inspiring, I guess I would say. And it's because these links are so short, and I did have to go ahead, I'll show you guys a close-up of this, but I had to use an all thread, and I actually remounted these rear links because the rear suspension was even worse when I got this thing, because it used to bind because these bottom links were hooked up over here. So it was kind of like the G-Made R1, where the axle would walk and it would just fight itself the whole time. The front, surprisingly, though it's set up very similar, doesn't fight itself. It has a good range of motion and everything, and it seems to do fine. The rear would bind though. You could feel it when you would try to articulate it. So that was one thing that I fixed, and these were all threads, and I went ahead and put that aluminum tubing on the outside to make it look a little better. But all in all, I'm excited to take this thing out. That worm drive is loud, man. It is quite, this thing is quite the screamer when you get to about 3/4 or full throttle. It doesn't move very fast, maybe like 2 to 3 miles an hour. But yeah, I'm excited to get this thing out to my rock crawler area and see how it does, because it seems to be set up pretty decent. From the little bit I drove it, it seems like it should do pretty well out there. I'm going to take it out there exactly how it sits right now with the servo and everything, and then I'll probably put that Savox servo in it afterwards. I have to run pretty tiny little packs in here because I have to put the pack up through here and just set it on the chassis. There's a piece of Velcro in there, and I have several small batteries that I Velcroed already for this. But I'll most likely, most of the time, be running this thing on 3S. But with the Mamba Max Pro, it is 2 to 6S capable. But you know, there's no place to put a much bigger battery than that. But I'll give you guys a pan over and kind of talk about it, talk about what I want to do with it, and then we'll get this out on the rocks. Alrighty, so here's the driver figure. You can kind of just see how it's all set up. I got the servo mounted in there and everything. I mean, this thing is pretty sweet. I did end up paying a decent amount for it being a roller, but that's okay. All the electronics, it's kind of dark in there, but everything, my ESC and receiver and everything, they're all Velcroed down. I didn't double-sided tape them, so it does move around a little bit, but it is in there secure. It is Velcroed down, and I'm just excited to get this thing out. I mean, the articulation isn't impressive. I mean, that's pulling a tire already right there, but this thing should do good. It's got good clearance. I can put my hand all the way under the axle, and with that flat, I mean, look at this. That is just going to slide over stuff. So I'm excited. I do want to do a couple things. Like, I want to get different drive shafts for this thing, figure out what I can do with the drive shaft situation, get something telescoping, maybe try and figure out a way to adjust the suspension to get a little more flex out of it. It doesn't need a whole bunch, but this is the this is that all thread rod I put in here, and as you can see, I just used that tubing to kind of set my rod ends where I needed them. They're all even and everything. I measured everything and made sure it was all centered up and all of that stuff. So it took me a little bit of time, and I kind of thought about it for a little bit, but it worked out perfectly because this plate used to be bent up, like rounded up, and I just kind of bent it down, put this in, and then kind of tapped it with a hammer right here to get it nice and flush, so it shouldn't catch too much on like backing up. And then you can see the front is rounded up how the rear used to be. But all in all, I think this little buggy will do pretty cool, pretty good, and I do think it looks pretty awesome. Alrighty, so that is what I'm going to dub the ghetto buggy. So this is going to be the Killer Off-Road Hobbies ghetto buggy, but I don't know, I think I'm gonna like this thing. I know rock crawlers and rock crawling videos and stuff, especially because I'm not like one of those scaler guys and everything, I know they're not the most popular thing on my channel, but it's fun for me, and it's fun for some of you guys to watch. So you know, that's why I do it. I tend not to hang on to crawlers very long, But this thing will be sticking around. I don't plan on selling this thing. I plan on this thing being, you know, one of my absolute keeper rigs. That's why I bought it. If I got to do a little bit of tweaking here and there to get it to where I really, really like it, I will do so. But yeah, having a custom built chassis crawler like this is just awesome. I'm very, very pleased that I won the bid on this and actually ended up picking it up. I do plan on getting a trail rig as well, like a keeper trail rig. I gotta figure out what I want. I keep going to the Axle Wraith, but for some reason I always let those go. So maybe I'll try the Vatera Ascender. Let me know in the comments, you scaler guys and crawler guys and everything, let me know what is a good solid trail rig that you guys from your experience with my channel think that I will like and actually hang on to. Alright everybody, well I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit that thumbs up. If you didn't, please hit that thumbs down. I like the feedback either way. If you got time, check out that description. There's a lot of cool stuff down there. You can become a Patreon and help me out and help stuff like this keep coming to the channel. You can get Killer Off-Road Hobbies merchandise, t-shirts and whatnot to also help out the channel and keep cool stuff like this coming through. And yeah, there's all kinds of stuff down there, so check it out if you got time, and we'll see you on the next video. Until then, peace.